Hey, happy Sunday, everyone. Glenn Kellaway from the basement. Weekend spinning, weekend music listening. There's nothing better than the weekend. It's like whether you're retired or you still work for a living, it's like that Saturday, Sunday just seem like the most relaxing days. I don't know. Um, that's when I spend most of my listening hours in a row. Like I probably start at noon or 1 o'clock in the afternoon and listen right up until 6 at night. Uh, I think for me, a lot of it is to do with that I'm a big sports fan, and I'll put the TV on with the sound down. Like yesterday, Saturday, 1 o'clock Yankees and Red Sox, 4 o'clock Jays and Marlins. That's just a perfect day for me. So put on some music and watch the game with the sound down. Um, It's also, I seem to gravitate towards CDs because I don't want to get my lazy ass off the couch and change music. Just flip records. So I'm going to show you a few CDs that I've been, for some reason, motivated to listen to or just wanted to listen to. And let's get started. First thing I played yesterday was Los Lobos, Kiko. Great album, man. I love this album. I highly recommend listening, but give it a few listens. It's one of those albums that just grows and grows on you. It's such great playing. For kicks, I looked up Kiko today. I just wanted to see what people said about the album because I think it's brilliant. And here are a couple of the comments made. An hallucinatory masterpiece. I don't know what the hell that means because it doesn't. I don't get any hallucinations from it, and I don't find it psychedelic at all. But hey, it's kind of a cool phrase. This was pretty interesting, although I don't know who this dude is. Sounds like the musical equivalent of a Louis Buñuel dream sequence, balancing beauty and menace with intelligence and a skill that's little short of dazzling. A brilliant singular achievement. It is a great album, man. Um, Great percussion, great lyrics, some cool songs. Every song's kind of different too. Um, there's a real cool rocker called "That Train Don't Stop Here Anymore." If you want to listen to that, or "Whiskey Train" or "Whiskey Trail." Sorry, both good rockers. There is an interesting song called Two Janes. It's a true story of these two young girls, both named Jane, who make a suicide pact and jump in front of a train. Obviously kind of a sad song, but it's well written song. It's a good track. Lots of good songs on here. Just a great album from 1992. Kiko. Next, I played the band Stage Fright, their third album. When I did my band ranking a couple of weeks ago, I said this was the fourth album. For some reason, I always think Cahoots is the third album, and I don't know why. But it's Stage Fright, released in 1970. How do you follow up that second band album, that brown cover album, which is just brilliant? Even the first two, like, how do you come up with a third? That shows how great these guys were, that they continued on a trajectory. I mean, this is a really good album. It's got Shape I'm In on it. What else is on this album? Come on. Of course, they don't put the track listings on the back of the cover. Shape I'm In, and Stage Fright, of course. Great song, too. Um, Excellent. I love Daniel and the Sacred Heart's a great song. Strawberry Wine kicks it off. Excellent album from the band. Um, this is a Mobile Fidelity SACD limited edition. I have number 1006. Out of how many, I have no idea. They should put that. When they do that, they should put it on there. 1006 out of 5,000 or whatever the heck it is. But sounds fantastic. I'm listening to it yesterday, just going, wow, that's a great sounding record. Next, fresh off going to see Allison, Krauss in Union Station, I picked up their new album called Arcadia. When this came out prior to the show that I saw last week, I gave it a quick listen on Spotify, and I thought it was too ballady. I thought, you got Jerry Douglas and Ron Block and all these great musicians in your band, and you're playing these kind of real soft ballads, and Allison does those great. Not that I don't mind, but I just like something. So I kind of, at first listen, went, I don't think this album's for me. But after the show, I was so excited because they're so good live that I just thought I'd give it another listen on Spotify, and I think I was wrong on my first impressions. And so I picked it up, and I was wrong. This is just a really solid album all the way through. Are there ballads on here? Yes, but there are some great upbeat bluegrass songs and just great playing on here. There's a song called Northside Gal they played at the show that I just absolutely love. Great album from Allison, Krauss and Union Station, Arcadia. Highly recommend. Next, Grateful Dead, again, inspired by going to see that Grateful Dead movie a couple of weeks ago. I find myself gravitating towards the 1973 and 74 years since then. And 73, RFK, Washington. Fantastic live show, man. They do some great playing on here. Extended versions of songs. Just some great stuff. Birdsong is fantastic on here. Eyes of the World is great. Jerry's playing is awesome on this album. Stella Blue, of course. I mean, it's an excellent Dead show. Washington, 73, RFK Stadium. I'm going to save that one for last. Cat Stevens, Tea for the Tillerman. So my friend Rich Strickler and my friend Adam from What the Gym did a collaboration yesterday where they talked about two Cat Stevens albums, Teaser and the Fire Cat and Tea for the Tillerman. So check out Adam's channel, What the Gym. I love this album. It's, again, 1970. Another album from 1970. Cat Stevens just had this ability to transform into a pop artist so he could have hit songs on the radio that were all endearing and good. He could keep his folk quality about him. He still sounded like a folk artist. And in somewhat childlike, too. So it's kind of generational. It sounds like Moonshadow. And and then somewhat political, too. Where do the children play? This, of course, has the great song Father and Son on it, which is probably his best song. And Tea for the Tillerman, just a great album. Again, this is a Super Audio CD. It is not limited, but sounds fantastic. Last but not least, I haven't listened to this album for a while, but it's George Harrison's All Things Must Pass. So, I'm reading Phil Collins' autobiography, which is a really good read, by the way. And he talks about being 19 years old, trying to make it in the music business. He has not joined Genesis yet. He hasn't done anything, really. And some reason he has a connection that gets him a call that he's required at Abbey Road Studios as a percussionist. And would he like the job? Well, of course, he was a huge Beatles fan. He said, I'm going to get a chance to go to Abbey Road where the Beatles recorded all this stuff. He has no idea what this session is. So he pulls up, walks into Abbey Road Studios, and who's standing there but George Harrison, Ringo Starr, Phil Spector, Billy Preston, Ringo, all the guys. He's involved in a session for the All Things Must Pass album. The song they're working on is Art of Dying, and they needed a conga player. Phil said he's never really played congas before, but he's been playing drums since he was a little kid. So they put him in front of the congas and had however many takes they did on this song. He's just playing his heart out, playing the congas. He said to the point where his hands were so sore that he could hardly move them. And then all of a sudden, Phil Spector comes over the loudspeaker and says, "Hey, can you hear the congas now?" Like as if every other take before didn't matter, and his hands are all sore and everything. He gets through the session, goes home. Eventually, the album comes out, and they don't use him on the album. He's not on it, so he gets no credits. His conga playing is not on the song. All he has is this memory. So eventually, Phil and George get to know each other, and Phil mentions this session a bunch of times, and George says he doesn't know what he's talking about. He has no idea anything about it. Can't remember Phil being there, remember the session at all. And then at some point on the 30th anniversary of the album, when they're working on a reissue, Phil gets Ray Cooper, the fantastic percussionist from Britain who plays with Elton John and all these people, to come into the studio. Unbeknownst to Phil, he said, well, what happens is George sends Phil a tape of the song, and there's congas on it, and he goes, "Is this the session you were on? I found it when I was working on the reissue." And Phil puts it on, and the congas are a nightmare. Like it's just all over the place. Like it's just like he's horrified that this is what I sounded like. So it turns out that George went into the studio, asked Ray Cooper to come in, and they played the song, and then he says, "Play the worst conga drums you could possibly play on top of the song, and then we'll send it to Phil." So that's what it was done as a joke, and Phil said he still has it as a prized possession, but that's a pretty good practical joke. Anyway, one of the greatest albums ever made. 1970. If you're around at the time, you'll know how surprising this album was. No one was expecting it. Nobody, George was really kept under the thumb of John and Paul, allowed very few songs on records, and he had built up this stockpile, I guess, of amazing songs, and went into the studio and came up with this double album, triple album with the jammy stuff on it. But I mean, it just blew everybody away. It's just one of the great releases of all time, and a great cover, and just a great presentation of the album, the artwork, and fantastic. And the songs, I don't know if there's a bad song on these discs. So I was giving that a spin yesterday because it was kind of bringing back memories, and it's a great album, and I haven't listened to it for a long time. That's it for me for today. I'm going to listen to some more stuff today and watch the Jays at 1 o'clock. Go Jays. Take care. Everyone have a great day.